What's up, everybody? Richard back today with another video, and notice I didn't say reaction video because today we're doing something a little bit different. And ever since the start of my new solo channel, I've always wanted to do some other content in addition to reaction videos. Don't get me wrong, I love reaction videos, but I've always wanted to do more stuff, and you've noticed that with my two tier lists with the metal genres and also metalcore bands. And so with this, about a couple weeks ago at this point, I posted a poll asking what type of video you'd like to see, and without a doubt, bands with less than 10,000 Spotify listeners on a monthly basis that you need to listen to was the resounding winner. So with that, we're going to dive into this. I have 9 bands to show to you today, and before we get into it though, I want you to like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, because quite frankly, there's like 80-something% of you that watch my videos that aren't subscribed. And, you know, I've cried a few times about it. And so I want to stop crying. So, but anyways, let's dive into it. First up, we're going to head on over to Australia, mate. As I said, the first band up is Ghost Complex. You'll see them over here to my right or to your left. We have Ghost Complex. These guys have just over 1,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and these guys really remind me of some fellow Australian bands, and they'll tell you that as well. To me, the band that really sticks out is Northlane. Now, Ghost Complex, I almost said Ghostlane, but Ghost Complex, they really bring, they can do the choruses, right? But they really bring those ominous, heavy sounds, and probably my favorite track by them is one called Apathy that you've got to check out. This is off their Dark Matter EP, as I believe is the name of it, and that was probably my favorite track off of it, but they have a bunch of other tracks that they've released. They've released some tracks on Hardcore Worldwide, and these guys definitely need to get some more attention. I know they're working on new music as well, so be on the lookout for some new Ghost Complex. Next up, we have the boys from Kentucky, or as I like to call it, Kane Tuck. Now, these guys were on when I was doing the True Shot Guest Spot podcast. These guys were on, and they also have an affinity for Applebee's, so you know that they cannot be bad guys. But as far as their music goes, I came onto these guys, I don't even know how long ago at this point. I randomly stumbled across them and their track Perish, and that is still my favorite track of theirs to date. These guys since then have signed to Modern Empire, and these guys really bring that, you know, like that sworn-in dealer type of sound with, like, you know, the alien noises, the aggressive vocals, and also these guys have a tandem vocal similar or akin to Knocked Loose. And so you have that element plus the alien noises and cool breakdowns, and just ominous heavy sounds that really remind me a lot of Sworn In. And you guys have a band that is really almost tailor-made for me, because as you guys will know, I'm really a big fan of pissed music, you know, that Amur, Sworn In, like I just really love that kind of just really heavy, angsty kind of music, and these guys definitely deliver it. And I know they're working on new material, and they've been teasing some clean singing in that as well, so I'm really looking forward to what these guys have next through Modern Empire. Next up, we have the metalcore band Heirloom from, I believe they're from North Carolina. And these guys are a band that's produced by Chris Davis of The Ghost Inside. So you know they have a guy at the helm producing them, really bringing the best out of them that they possibly can do. And I believe that that has happened with their most recent single, The Furthest Corners. This song and this music video, draped in the modern metalcore aesthetic of the plastic hung up like a Dexter kill room. This song really had a really cool breakdown in it. I did a reaction video to it as well. And these guys are going to also be releasing an EP in August, so you've got to check that out. And they're also going to be playing at the Blue Ridge Rock Festival. So these guys really bring that. They can bring the heavy, but they also have, you know, kind of that angelic kind of chorus. And for me, they really, really remind me a lot of Like Moss to Flames, And I know that as soon as the guys watch this, they're going to laugh, because if you listen to their vocalist, Nolan, his vocals sound very, very much like Chris Roeder from Light Moss to Flames, which is obviously a good thing because Chris is awesome as well.
I feared the way you venture with me to the furthest corners of humanity. I found the edge of the earth, and I took a leap of faith.
With just one song released, this band caught my attention immediately. And partially, I'll be honest with you, they are signed to Sharp Tone Records, and anytime Sharp Tone Records has signed a new band or a band that I haven't heard of, I generally will check it out because I really trust their judgment, and they were right on with Profiler. These guys, if I had to pick another metalcore band, they're not really that metalcore, but if I had to pick a metalcore band to kind of identify them with, I would pick Thornhill. While these guys do have that metalcore flavor to them, they also really reminded me a lot of Chevelle as well. And this track, Metamorphosis, really does a nice job of kind of having those abrupt, kind of interesting breakdowns, but also having like a really cool chorus with an interesting vocal that I was instantly hooked by. And I'm assuming that this is going to be leading up to some sort of bigger release, whether that's an EP or an album, you know, knowing that they're signed to Sharp Tone Records. And I'm looking forward to what else these guys have in store, even after just one track. So you've got to go check out Profiler. And they also just recently released a guitar playthrough of this track, Metamorphosis, as well.
And don't believe in me, only let you down, but maybe we could try.
Across the Pond brings us the band Asleep at the Helm. Now these guys, I came on to these guys a little while ago through, I think, a Patreon request back, I don't even know how long ago at this point, but their music was always really, really solid, and just like, I think solid is a great word, but I think with their track Outsiders, I was really like, okay, now I'm listening, because this track here had the heavy, but also had those big soaring choruses, and these guys really reminded me a lot of my friends in If I Were You, with just the aggressive vocals and also the clean singing as well. And these guys, like I said, Outsiders is the track you've got to check out. They released a track after that called Altered State, which is also solid, but Outsiders for me is the one that I was really like, I think this is my favorite track by them. So you've got to check them out. I know they have more music on the way as well, and I believe that they're managed by Tobias of Our Hollow, Our Home. So you know that they have somebody at the, kind of leading the charge, kind of showing them what's right and what's wrong in terms of that kind of stuff. So when you have a guy like that mixed with the good music, only good things can happen. So we'll be on the lookout for some more Asleep at the Helm, that's for sure. Next up, we have the California-based band Sunspear. Now, these guys are produced by a guy by the name of Matt Thomas, or Ashtone Audio, who's produced, the latest Kingdom of Giants and Darker record. And these guys, when I was coming up with it for fans of, I really kind of looked at their most recent single, The Vessel, which features Johnny Reeves of Kingdom of Giants, and they really reminded me a lot of that Blueprints or Deadweight era of Wage War, with those heavy moments, just groovy riffs, especially in the track The Vessel. There's some interesting transitions, and then you have Johnny, who's doing the chorus, and the clean singing really reminded me of Cody a lot from Wage War. So I really enjoy these guys' music. It's really solid modern metalcore. Their track before this, Consumer, was also really, really good. Kind of reminded me aesthetically of Silent Planet. Not so much in the music, but just the video itself. So they definitely go for that modern feel, and they do it really, really well. And I know they're going to be releasing some more music as well. So I'm always on the lookout for some more Sunspear, because these guys, if it's anything like The Vessel, deliver some really solid modern metalcore with the choruses, the heavy moments, the breakdowns, And I'm looking forward to some more of those transitions. The transitions in the vessel were very interesting, and I look forward to what else these guys have coming in the future. Next up, we have a band from Japan. These guys are called Seagate. And now when I was coming up with for fans up for these guys, you know, the easy comparison would have been Crystal Lake, a fellow Japanese-based metalcore band. But when I was listening to more and more of their music and their discography, they really reminded me a lot of Aviana because they know how to go soft. They can bring it in heavy. They can mix the two, and I really got a lot of Aviana feels from these guys. And now these guys were introduced to me through Twitch, and from there I went and listened to a little bit more of their music, and the track that really captured me was actually the one from Twitch, and that was Derangement. Less than 3 minutes long, heavy, straight to the point, with those hardcore style riffs, and it kind of really reminded me in the ilk of Retaliation by Aviana. So these guys, if you want a mix of heavy but also knowing how to go soft. But then, of course, I'll be honest with you, they do have some of those Crystal Lake vibes as well. You've got to go check out Seagate, 100%. Now we have two bands left, and both of these bands are actually from my area, and we're going to start with the band Katahdin from Maine. Or, as I know them, the artist formerly known as Hollowell. Now, my old band True Shot, when we were first starting playing some shows, these guys were always on the bill with us, it seemed like. And they had some really solid, hardcore, heavy music. But I'll be honest with you, it was okay. It wasn't anything that I was like blown away by. But then these guys rebranded to Katahdin and came out with the track Separation. And this track absolutely blew me away with a brutal breakdown. And then you also get a bark from Max, the front man, as well. And since then, they've gone on to release an additional single and then an EP, No Longer Room for Us, which is, I believe, I think it's like less than 10 minutes, maybe even less than 9 minutes long. And it's one video for all three tracks. And these guys really remind me now with this sound of like an old school Varials. So if you want that heavy, aggressive, in-your-face style of music like that, you've got to check out Katahdin, especially if you like some insane breakdowns. And lastly, we have my guys in Degrader from Massachusetts. And these guys, I just cannot figure out how they don't have more people listening to them. They've been around for a minute, as the kids would say. And their two recent albums, we'll start with Burn You, Burn We, which I believe came out in 2019, was solid. It was heavy. It had the heavy. It was I remember seeing these guys live at their CD release show, and it was heavy. I mean, it was good. It was really, really solid. But then Beautiful Lie came out. And I should also mention these guys like Cohen are also signed to Modern Empire. But Beautiful Lie, their lead single, Devu, just absolutely blew me away. It was so heavy. The breakdown was cool. And it just had like an emotional touch to it that it wasn't just like straight in your face, kind of like Katahdin or, you know, like a Cohen. It had a little bit more like emotive concepts to it. And listening to Beautiful Lie, a lot of songs kind of really go down that emotive, emotional, hardcore, melodic hardcore sound. And with that, they really remind me a lot of Counterparts because not only can they be heavy sonically, but just in the message that they're trying to get across in the songs, those can be heavy and emotional as well. And Degrader, who has released, I don't know how much music at this point, really needs more people listening to them because these guys release such good music, and their album Beautiful Lie is definitely going to be in my top 10, maybe inside my top 5 records of 2021. It was just that good. So you have got to check them out.
Separated by an ocean of flame. What a beautiful ride.
With all that said, that is 9 bands with less than 10,000 monthly Spotify listeners that you have got to listen to. And you can find these bands all over on the Core 100 playlist, which will be linked down in the description below. And also down in the description below, you will also find links to all my social media, my Twitch, my Patreon, which, you know, by the way, guys, Patreon, the tier start as low as $1 a month. And going back to Twitch, I stream every Monday and Saturday. So if you want to stop by, drop me some suggestions for more bands with less than 10,000 monthly Spotify listeners. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this series. And also, I'm going to link all of these bands' Spotifys down below. So make sure you click those links, give them a follow, and that really does help them a lot. And be on the lookout for some new music from all these bands. If there's anybody that I missed, leave them down in the comments below. Like I said, on Twitch, I'll listen to them. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of this. But either way, make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And check out the Core 100 playlist, like I said. But anyways, till the next one, peace.